like Mr. Harris already told you, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are just simply, do you remember your multiplication and division rules?
If they both the same sign, you divide, ain't you gonna keep the same?
What's your rule for division? Same signs is a
Positive.
positive. Good.
Different sizes.
There you go. Just making sure you remember those rules. That's why we're doing this.
Sign with multiplication.
My bad.
That's the same sign with multiplication.
Same rules for both division and multiplication.
12, 24.
Make sure on number 1 and number 3 that you recognize that's a division sign, not an addition sign. Part should be reviewed before we go into multiplying and dividing fractions. You can do this, you can do multiplying and dividing fractions. Yes, ma'am. RJ, did you take your medicine home this morning? He said no. Okay. Good to see Miss Cook.
Can I put my durag on the way to the nurse?
As long as it's off by the time you get back. Got a couple more minutes. Make sure y'all are trying this. The only way to learn it is to try. Make mistakes, you're still learning. Just learn from your mistakes and try not to make the same mistakes twice.
What you think of doing?
Guys. Focus, because y'all sitting here going back and forth across each other.
We were talking about this.
You just try it on your
Oh, you trying to say I got a big head? Right
You
here.
try it on his paper. And we'll do the rest of it. Dang it, everybody.
Oh my God, bro. You see? Can you see?
They good. They can slide just like you can. sure you at least give number 5 a try. We're starting to run out of time. Those are just basic multiplication and addition facts. Make sure you give number 5 a try. Bless you. What's that? My nose. Oh, yes, they're digging a hole. Alright, I've heard some of y'all talking about the rules that we've gone over before, but just before we get started, what are our rules for multiplication and dividing positive and negative numbers?
Same signs is a positive.
Same signs gives you a positive answer,
And different signs give you a negative.
different signs give you a different answer. Multiply just like normal, divide just like normal. Same signs is positive, it doesn't matter if it's negative and negative. Same signs, it's going to be positive, different signs, it's going to be negative. Okay, so divide just like normal. What is 28 divided by 7?
4.
4. If we're not very good with our division facts, flip it around. What times 7 is 28? 4. I have a negative and a negative, so that's same sign, so my answer is going to be positive. Alright, over here for number 2. There's not a sign there,
What it means by
so what does that mean I need to do? Multiply. Anytime you see two numbers side by side with no signs, it means to multiply it. So 3 times 12?
36.
36. Negative times a positive. Same signs are different. So my answer should be
Negative.
negative 36. Number 3, 120 divided by 8.
15.
15, if you're not sure, come over here to the side and divide it out. 8 will go into 12 one time. When you subtract and you bring down, you get 40. 8 will go into 45 times. So that is 15. I have a positive and a negative. Case it's right. Different signs is going to give me a negative sign. And number 4, that looks like a long problem that we got to work out, but what do you see in there? A 0. And anything times 0, it doesn't matter what 14 times negative 12 is? No, you didn't even have to work that out, because whatever that answer is, times 0 is going to give you 0. Is 0 positive or negative?
It's neutral.
Neutral, it's neither. Because if you have $0, you don't have anything, but you also don't owe anybody anything. Alright, number 5. The construction company is starting to excavate a hole for a new underground parking garage. Now, you may not have known what the word excavate means, but look at what else is in the sentence. A hole, underground parking garage. So what does excavate mean?
Going down.
They're going down, they're digging. They're digging a hole. And the only way to make an underground parking garage, they don't make an underground parking garage below the ground. It's underground. So they're digging. So that word means going down. If the company excavates 3 feet every hour for 4 hours, what will be the depth of the hole? This also tells you a depth. So is our answer going to be a positive number or a negative number?
Negative.
Negative, because it's asking for depth, and we're going underground. So it's a negative number. Slide this up for those of you on the back to see. So we started with, they're excavating 3 feet. So what kind of 3 is that? Negative 3. And if they're doing something every hour for so many hours, what type of problem is this? I hear some multiplication, I hear some adding, I hear some subtracting. Well, let's think about this in terms of exactly what it says. 3 feet every hour for 4 hours. So hour number 1, they're going down 3 feet. Hour number 2, they're going down 3 feet. Hour number 3, they're going down 3 feet. Hour number 4, they're going down 3 feet. I want to know how many feet down they went. So what do I have to do to all these numbers?
Add, multiply.
Add them. But what do we know the definition of multiplication is?
Add it.
Repeated addition. 3 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus. That's adding the same thing over and over and over again. That's repeated addition. Repeated addition is always multiplication. So what is negative 3 times 4?
12.
Negative 12. Because we have a negative times a positive, that's a different sign, so I should have a negative answer. It also told me depth, so I know that is down. So we should be at negative 12 feet. Make sure you put your unit, because they may think miles. They may think inches. Questions on any of that? If you can remember those rules right here, going into multiplying and dividing fractions, today we're going to focus on multiplying. You've got this. There'll be nothing to it. You'll think this is easier than adding and subtracting, because you're going to find out in just a minute it's a little less work with numerators and denominators. Alright? So y'all can put that away.
Alright, we get out your spiral notebook, we're gonna move on today. Alright, so what we just worked on, and just a refresher, you already had this in your notes, and we just practiced it because before we start our fractions, we need to make sure we remember our rules. Same signs. Doesn't matter if the signs are both positive or both negative. If they're the same, your answer is going to be what? Positive. So if you have different signs, whether they're negative times a positive or positive times a negative, if they're different signs, your answer is going to be negative. Okay? You already have that in your notes, but if you want to add it to the top, that's fine. We're going to move on today to multiplying fractions. So if you want to put the top of your paper right now, when you put your title, multiplying fractions, you want to put same signs positive, different signs negative. That way you don't have to keep flipping back and forth through your notebook.
Or you could just write the signs right here like we have. Or you can do just like I did on those problems. That you N and N equals a positive, P and P equals a positive, N and P is a negative, or P and N equals a negative. Just something quick up at the top just to remind yourself. And that goes for multiplying or dividing. That way you don't have to keep flipping back and forth to your notes where you wrote all of this down.
We're only going to focus on multiplication today. We'll add in division tomorrow. Alright, so this you've already got. It's just you've already got it. All I'm doing is just refreshing the rules. Positives give you a positive and positive can give you positive. Same signs as positive, different signs are negative. That's all you got to do.
That's the biggest thing. Other than that, knowing your facts. That's the biggest thing that can hurt you on multiplication and division of fractions. Anytime you multiply, you got to know your facts.
Alright, you should already have this. We'll come back to it in a minute. Let's just go ahead and start with the examples. Alright. So today we're going to start with fractions. We're going to do some together. We're going to do some with our partner. We're going to do some on our own. Looking up at the board, it says find the product. What does product mean to do?
Yes.
Find the answer by how?
An adding problem?
Multiply.
Multiply.
Subtraction problem? Product is the answer to a multiplication problem.
Look at the last two words. What do the last two words say? Simplest form. When I was grading tests, I'm not necessarily saying it was in this class, because I graded so many, some of us still forgot simplest form. You left the answer 24/36, so you might have left it 12/18. You've got to make sure it's in simplest form. You saw yesterday on the I-Ready, it's already that way, so if you don't start simplifying, then you think you have the wrong answer. Alright, so all we're going to do here is we're going to multiply. The very first one says 6/15 times 12. Well, one of those doesn't look like the other. Which one doesn't look like the other? 12. So what can we put under 12 to make it look like a fraction? 1. 1. So 12/1 is just the fraction, whole number 12. Multiplying fractions. We're going to do them two ways. Okay? You multiply fractions by going across.
What do y'all remember when we were adding and subtracting fractions? What would be our first step right here? Find a common denominator. Guess what? You ain't got to do that for multiplying and dividing. You ain't even got to fool with it. Doesn't matter. Because we're going to go, just like she just said, we're going to go straight across. So what is, in this example, what would be 6 times 12? 72. And what would be 15 times 1?
15.
Now, is that in simplest form?
No.
But that's all you got to do
Gotta do
until you simplify now. What is this called when the number on top is bigger than the number on bottom? Improper fraction. And what do we do to improper fractions?
divide.
Now we talked about two ways to divide. Do we do 72 divided by something and 15 divided by something?
No.
Or do we do 72 in the house and 15 outside the house? That's what we're going to do. Top dog, 72 is our dividend and 15 is our divisor. I would. So, how many times will 15 go into 72? I like to think about a clock because I know a clock is split into 4 sets of 15 minutes. So one set is from 12 to 3, that's 15. 2 sets is from 3 to 6, that's 30 minutes. Another 15 will get me over to 9, that's 45. Another 15 will get me back up to 60, which is an hour. So whenever I see this 15 right here, I like to think about a clock. Just like when I see 25, what do I like to think about? Quarters. Find something that's easy to relate it to. Well, I know 15 times 4 got me all the way back around to the top of the clock, which is 60. So what's another 15? And that's going to be too much. So it's just going to be 4 times, and I know that's 60. 2 minus 0 is 2. 7 minus 6 is 1. Now, some of us are still struggling with this when we were working on adding and subtracting. You did all of this beautifully. But then from here, we couldn't figure out what went where. 15 went into 72 4 whole times. So 4 is my whole number. Golly, it will come out. Alright, and my denominator is not going to change, so I know my denominator is going to be 15, bless you. Which means 12 has to be my numerator. So 4 and 12 16ths. Good, I hear y'all already thinking ahead. 12 over 15 can be simplified. By 3. Good, perfect. Now, same question I asked you a minute ago. Am I going to do 12 divided by something and 15 divided by something? Or am I going to do 12 in the house and 15 outside? The first way, I'm going to simplify this since the number on top is smaller. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 15 divided by 3 is 5. My whole number 4 stays down. Go back and check your signs. What was 6/15? Was it positive or negative?
Positive.
What was 12? Was it positive or negative?
Positive.
So my answer should be, because it was same signs, and same signs always gives me positive. So my answer is 4 and 4/5.
The hardest part of multiplying fractions is you're gonna have to make sure that you're strong on your facts.
This part right here, we did with adding and subtracting already. That's nothing new. The only thing we did now is we just multiplied straight across. And then check your signs. Know your rules for your signs.
Top times top, bottom times bottom.
Is that difficult?
And after we practice this a little while, we'll show y'all maybe a little shortcut. We need to get strong first with knowing how to multiply our fractions.
All right, number 2. Negative 2 over 7 times 14 over 9. What am I going to do? Find a common denominator?
No.
Nope. Why?
You don't know it.
I'm not adding or subtracting. I'm just multiplying. When I multiply, Amy, I do what? Straight across. So what is 2 times 14? 28. And what is 7 times 9?
63.
63. But this was a negative 2 times 14. So what kind of 28 is this going to be?
A negative.
A negative, because this was a negative times a positive. Different signs is going to give me.
Negative.
Okay. Am I done?
No. Gotta see the
Got to see if you can simplify. Y'all remember the trick I showed you to see if you can simplify?
Yes.
What was it?
T-chart.
T-chart with which number? The smaller number or the bigger number? Smaller number. Alright, I know 1 times 28. What about 2?
2 times 14.
It better be, it's right there. 2 times 14. What about 3?
3 times.
No, because 3 times 10 is 30, which means 3 times 9 is...
27.
Did I hit 28? No, so 3 won't work. What about 4?
Yes.
4 times 7. So now all I have left to check is 5 and 6 because I'll be back around to 7. Will 5 work? No. Doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. What about 6? No. Now, does anything times 20 work? Anything times 28 give me 63? No. Does anything times 14 give me 63? No. Does anything times 7 give me 63? Yes, we just did it right here. 7 times 9. So this is what I need to take out of both of these. Divide by 7, divide by 7. 28 divided by 7 is right here. And that is 4. 63 divided by 7 is, and it's in the problem for me.
We finished?
Yes. No, we got to put it
No, you gotta
in.
put your negative.
Always go back and check your signs. Good. This was negative here, so it's got to be negative in my final answer. Because look, I've got a negative divided by a positive, because that fraction bar right there means divide by, and you get negative 4/9. You feel okay so far? The biggest hurdle is what for y'all? Tell me what the biggest confusion is. Maybe facts? What about you? Not doing the common denominators. Because you're so used to it after doing adding and subtracting. Probably facts. And still remembering how to check to simplify or taking the time to stop and check to simplify. Alright, the next one. 2/3 times negative 3/8. Who thinks they can walk me through this? Alright, Jayla, what am I going to do first? Multiply straight across. Top, bottom. What you want to do first?
Top.
You want to do the top. Okay, so what is 2 times negative 3?
6.
What kind of 6?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. Okay? And what is 3 times 8? 24?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yes, I covered it up.
It's negative.
3 was negative. I covered it up with my line right there when I circled it. Yes, 3 was negative. So now I'm done.
Oh, you can simplify. You can
I can simplify.
Yeah, 6. I think it's 3/4.
6. Okay, now,
It's gonna be 1/4. Yeah.
Negative 1.
Yeah.
negative 1/4 up here.
Yes. That's the answer.
Okay. Now, when I divide this, am I going to do 6 divided by something and 24 divided by something? Or am I going to put 6 in the house and 24 outside?
6 divided by something.
I don't have to set it up. That's right. Divide by 6. Divide by 6.
It's gonna be negative.
What is 6 divided by 6?
1.
1. And what is 24 divided by 6?
Oh, 4.
So I'm done. 1/4.
No, negative 1/4.
Always go back and check your sign. Negative here, negative here. Harder or easier than adding and subtracting?
Easy.
Told y'all would probably like this a little better because you don't have to deal with finding common denominators on this. Alright, you try this one. It says negative 2/5 times negative 3/4. You try it. Negative 2/5 times negative 3/4. Like Miss Mary said, we'll show you a little bit of a trick in just a minute. But we want to make sure you have the process down first. You did right. That's right. You just need to finish it. Don't stop. Always simplify it.
Always.
Can I tell him what to do?
Huh?
Can I tell him?
He's gonna figure it out, my mom. He's got it.
Remember, at the end, always check to see if you can simplify. And at the very, very end, we always do what?
Check your signs.
Check your signs. Yep, good job.
I got it on.
Check your signs. Negative times a negative is a... Looks like we're doing pretty good with this. I've only seen a couple errors so far, and that was just the last two things we talked about. Always go back and check and see if you can simplify, and always go back and check your signs. You did the math part correct. Always go back and check and see. If you need to, make yourself a quick little T-chart with the smaller number. Alright, let's check and see how we did. Looks like most of y'all did pretty good. Alright, so what is 2 times 3?
6.
6.
Negative 6.
And what is 5 times 4?
20.
20. Now, we had a negative times a negative. Same signs equals a positive.
But you gotta simplify.
But I gotta simplify.
2.
They're both even, so I automatically know 2 will come out. Divide by 2, divide by 2.
3 tenths.
And I end up with
3 tenths. It's the same sign. 3 tenths.
good. If it was positive here, it's going to be positive there, so you should have come up with positive 3/10. And if you can do this, tomorrow for division, we're only going to add one step and then finish with this. Just like when we did subtracting. Subtracting was the same thing as adding. You just had to do that, keep change opposite first. And then you followed your addition rules, right? Well, for multiplication, you're going to do what y'all have, or for division, y'all are going to do what y'all kept saying every time instead of keep change opposite. Because fractions we can now flip. and then you're going to follow these same rules. So if you've got this today, you're going to have division tomorrow.
So we're gonna practice today on multiplication. Questions on 1 through 4. These are just basic fractions. All right, we didn't have improper to multiply. We didn't have mixed numbers. This was just top times top, bottom times bottom. Any questions on those?
No, ma'am.
All right, so let's go to the next screen, Mr. Martin. We're gonna add one more little piece to the multiplication puzzle. We're gonna add in
Oh, man.
mixed numbers. Alright? Now, let me ask you something. What do you know a mixed number is? Well, before we started fractions, before we started adding and subtracting, what do we learn about a mixed number? What can we change it into? Improper fraction.
So if you can get a mixed number to an improper fraction, is it any different than what you just did on the last screen?
No.
So anytime you see a mixed number, what do you automatically tell yourself you need to do?
Make it improper.
Make it improper. The hardest part of that is remembering those steps. 2 things you got to do. What are those 2 things?
Multiply and add.
Multiply and then add, and where do we always start at?
Bottom.
We start at the bottom because that's our point that never changes.
Now let me, while we're talking about that, look at number 1 and 3. They look different than number 2. What does number 1 and 3 have? Parentheses. We know in 7th grade math, when you have a number beside parentheses, what is that telling us to do? Multiply. Last year you probably did like number 2 that had the dot, which also means to multiply. But most of the things you're going to see here will be the parentheses. Every now and then you may see the x, so we're going to try and get away from the x, but we'll learn that the x is a variable later on. So most of the times you're going to see the parentheses. All that means is just to multiply. Alright, so 5 and 1/4. Where do we start at to make this improper?
4 times 5.
4 times 5. And then what do we do after we multiply times 5? Add our 1. So 5 and 1/4 as an improper fraction is going to be what?
21 over 4.
21 over 4. Good. Alright, and we're going to times that by, how are we going to do it? Why are we going to change 2 and 3/16? What are we going to do?
Do the same thing.
We're going to do something. If you don't know your 16 times tables by heart, that's fine. Go to the blue and work them out. The 16 times 2 gave us how much?
36.
32. And then what do we do now? 32 plus 3 will give us 35 over
16.
16. Now,
Negative.
negative. Don't forget your sign.
Don't lose it in the mix. Now we've got to find a common denominator.
Oh, no, you never found it.
No, we don't have to find a common denominator. We're not adding and subtracting. I was just checking y'all. Make sure y'all were with me and paid attention. Bill's with me. Trayvon was with me. So, what do we do? Multiply straight across, just like normal. We got some bigger numbers,
Yes.
but we already know how to multiply bigger numbers. So first I've got 21 times 35.
I think it's 105.
Come over here to the side, do your little scratch work. 1 times 5? 1 times 3?
3.
I gotta put a 0 down because I'm done with the ones place and I'm moving on to the tens. 2 times 5?
10.
2 times 3?
6.
Plus 1?
7.
And then add them together. 735. Woo, that's a big old number. 21 was a positive, 35 was a
Negative.
so my 735 should be
Negative.
negative. And now we have 4 times 16.
It's 48.
Y'all already jumping up.
Y'all are getting ahead of it. Y'all are seeing what's coming down the pipe. 16 times 4. 6 times 4?
Oh, it's 48.
Oh,
4 times 1 plus 2.
44. Oh, 6 4.
Oh, I said, now wait a minute, that can't be 44, but that time 44.
Well, I know from right here that 16 times 2 was 32. So another 16 times 2 is going to give me another 32. So 16 times 4 will be 32 plus 32, which is 64.
And I'm glad y'all know what comes next.
Some of y'all has already jumped ahead and say, whoa,
Whoa.
we got to divide all that. How are we going to divide on that? We're going to do 735 divided by something and 64 divided by something?
No.
Are we putting top dog in the house on this one? Top dog in the house on this one. So 735. I'll come back and check my signs in a minute. 64. Now, break this apart. Don't look at it as 64 into 735. Do it just like you do long division. Will 64 go into 7?
Yes.
No. Will 64 go into 73?
Yes.
Yes, one time. And when I subtract that, what am I going to get?
5.
35.
5.
I mean,
No, that'll be 1.
No.
What's 13 minus 4?
9.
9.
9. And 6 minus 6?
0 already.
And then we bring down our 5.
It go into 1 time.
64 going to 95?
1 time.
One time.
It will be 11, 31, 64.
5 minus 4?
1.
9 minus 6?
31.
So this is 11 holes.
Yep.
So this is 11 holes. And 31 over 64. Go back and check your sign. Negative divided by positive, different signs, so I'm going to have a negative answer. Now, can anything 31 go into 64? You can do a T-chart if you don't know. Come over here to the side where you've been doing all your scratch work. 1 times 31. Is anything times 2 going to work? No. What about 3? We're in our math facts now. 3 times 10 is 3 times 11. 3's not going to work. What about 4?
No.
28 to 32? Nope. What about 5? 6? 7? 8? 9? So what is 31 called when it only has 1 in itself? Prime number. Will 31 go into 64 evenly? No. So that's it. It is simplified. That's my final answer. Negative 11 and 31 over 64. That's as hard as they're going to be.
So don't be scared of the larger numbers. Y'all can do it.
That's as hard as they're going to be right there. Had to bring back a lot of old skills, didn't we?
Yeah.
Long division. Been a little while. Alright. So on number 30 or number 2, what do I have to do first? Change all of my mixed numbers to impropers. And how do I do that? And start at the bottom. 11 times 2 plus 8 will be 30. But don't forget your
Negative.
so that's negative 30 over 11 times 4 over 18. Okay? What do I do now?
Multiply the top.
Multiply the top first.
It's 120.
4 times 3 is 12, and we keep our 0. Negative times a positive is a
Negative.
negative. And then 18 times 11. Y'all already worked it out?
I just did it in my head.
Should be what?
198. What?
198 should be.
Yes, that's what I got.
Because 18 times 10 is 180. And then one more 18, 180 plus 18 is 198.
You can see.
I can simplify. Do I need to put top dog in the house on this one? No, because why? It's not improper. It's a regular old fraction. So now I can simplify.
You can simplify by 2.
Okay? We see 2, let's do 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. What's half of 120?
30. 160. 60.
60. Negative divided by positive is a
Negative.
negative. Now I need 198 divided by 2.
Use your hand, work it out, go to your side.
2 will go into 19. 9 times. And that would be 18.
Then they go into
And then into 18.
It's down 9.
So it's 99.
We're finished.
They're not both even, so 2's not going back into it. What about 3? Will 3 go into 60? Will 3 go into 99? So I can take a 3 out. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. 3 will go into 60?
20 times.
20 times. Negative divided by positive is a negative. 3 will go into 99.
33 times.
33 times, because 3 will go into 9 3 times. 3 will go into 9 3 times.
What about now? Are we finished now?
Yes.
Can't think of anything they have in common.
Always go back and check your signs. Negative over a positive is a negative, so this better be a negative. How we feeling? Feeling okay? Anybody have any questions about what we've done so far? Everything on here is stuff we're reviewing, except today all we did was we started multiplying straight across. Everything else is reviewed. We've already hit fractions. We've already hit simplifying. We've already hit changing mixed to improper and improper back to mixed. You like this better? You don't have to worry about common denominators and everything with this. I know. Alright, let's look at the last one down here.
Alright, y'all try that one to see what you can do.
It says negative 8 over 15 times negative 2 and 3/7. You try.
We're going to the bathroom and have a
I'll probably go right after this one. Try it. If you get stuck, raise your hand. That's the best time to learn. I hope you don't get stuck, but if you do, ask a question. Like I told you at the beginning, mistakes is where you learn at. Learn from your mistakes. Try not to make the same mistake twice.
It's for Andy. Ah, he's on his way.
What makes you took that?
Mr. Cunningham's old office. Come on, I'll go with you.
No, you shouldn't. You can fight people.
Alright, let's focus on what we're doing. Across 8 times 17 and then 15 times 7. You got it? Okay. We learned 31 is prime. So as long as 31 won't go into 105 even, then you're done. You got this, Ted? Did you go back and check your sign? I didn't say it was right or wrong, I just said go back and check it.
You're right, because they both did.
Yep. What was 8 times 17?
You know that.
parentheses, 8 times 1 is 5, 13. So you should have 136. 15 times 7. 105, so you should have 136 over 105, so this is 136.
You might not be here to have.
15 times 7 was subtraction. That's your denominator. Your numerator was 8 times 20 or 8 times 17. That's your numerator. 136 is on top. You just put your 6 right there. And then that's an improper fraction. Now you just need to finish it.
Hey, I don't feel because my son did it. Always got the stuff. And he said he just got rid of the weights and
All right, what's that called?
so I got him
What do we do with improper fraction? Something all goes in the house.
But he does seem he's very, crazy. He was stubborn.
He was just there. He was just there. Eight times 7 is 56. So that needs to be a 6. Don't erase all of them, just erase that 4 right there. The only thing that's gonna change is your top number. So now, instead of it being 134, it's gonna be 136. So it'll be, this will be 6 minus 5 is, and 3 minus nothing is. So it should be 31 and 31. There you go. How much time was there? 1 and 31 over 1. Try to make sure you got it, because that's always our answer. What's 8 plus
That's the teacher. It's 2 teachers. You, Mr. Martin.
136 over 105. Okay, now, what is this called? What do we do with that? So 136 goes in, 105 stays out. 105 will go in 136. 2 would be over 200. And when you subtract 36 minus 5, so what's your answer?
All right, looks like most of you got it. All right, on number 3, what was my first step?
So, change the improper, change the mixed number.
Change my mixed number to,
Improper fraction.
how do I do that?
7 times 2 is 14 plus 3.
You know that number, but you don't know how.
All right, 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 3 is
17.
17 over 7.
Bring down.
This was my negative. I've got to keep it. This one didn't change because it's already a fraction.
136.
So now what do?
Multiply.
Multiply straight across. Negative 8 times negative 17.
136.
136. Most of y'all got that far. Good. 15 times 7.
105.
105.
Improper fraction.
Negative times a negative is a
Positive.
And just like Jalen said, this is called a
Improper fraction.
improper fraction. And what do we do to improper fractions? Divide them. Do I do 136 divided by something and 105 divided by something? Top dog goes in the house. And when you divided this, what did you come up with?
105.
1 and 31 over 105. I had several people that got to here, but then got stuck. Whenever you get here, top dog goes in the house. Yes, they look like big numbers, but this is only going in one time. And when you subtract that, you get 31. So that wasn't all that bad. They were big numbers, but it wasn't too bad to work out. And then we just learned on the last one, 31 is prime. As long as 31 won't go into 105 evenly, then we're done. Well, the only way to get from 1 to 5 is times 5. Well, what's 3 times 5? Is it 10?
No.
It's not going to work then. So that is our final answer. 1 and 31 over 105. And it is positive because a negative times a negative is a positive.
Alright, so I have a graphic organizer that's going to need to go in your prom folder. I'm going to pass that out. You may work with your table mates. If you got to go to the restroom, we'll call you to go to the restroom. We will check this paper before we leave. So you don't have time to sit there and play with your partners while they're working. I know a lot of you got it. Some of us are kind of still stumbling. So ask him at your table. Ask your partner to check with you.
If you want to keep your notes out now to look at it to use, keep them out. But if you think you've got it without your notes, that's okay. Just know you've got them if you need them. Alright, these first 3 sections right here that's already got their papers. If anybody needs to go to the restroom, let's go. Oh, don't
Yeah, he had called, but I called. He just called the first 3 tables.
Oh,
Put this in your prom folder.
Is it top-ish?
Ladies. Yep, in your prom folder. All right. How there they are. Pass them down to everybody. All right, any girls that need to go to the restroom? The girls that need to go to the girls. Huh?
He said,
Get your stuff, babies.
I got to use it.
Mr. Crockett.
No, man, I didn't go with it.
Jason. Jason, baby. I'm sorry, no, look at me, look at me. Now, I gave you a warning the first time and you did not listen and you kept doing the thing that was wrong. So now I'm documenting because when I spoke to you and you knew you were doing wrong, you did not correct yourself.
You don't document me, she write you up in the computer.
No, I tried, no, look, see, Miss Mary, I was trying to tell him something. I ain't get to finish my sentence. I'm sorry.
I don't care about if you didn't get to finish your sentence, if an adult tells you to stop.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't get rid of it.
Yes, correct.
Get on to it.
How many days here? Today and tomorrow.
Jalen. Here, baby. You got that sheet on your desk? Do you want?
I love mine.
You got it.
Take your desk, your chair, and get on and sit down. To make this bigger.
I did it right.
All right, now make sure we are using our neighbors as a resource and not a distraction.
My neighbor disappears.
You work by yourself, that's fine, that's your choice, but you need to ask somebody, make sure it's math related.
Hey, can I ask one of y'all a question?
You can, go ahead.
I don't know who to ask, but I'm on the way to that stone table. When y'all reduced, did y'all get one to Fortnite on the one?
What if I?
No, you didn't. I said I got four.
It's fine.
What is 14 minus 9?
it's even. We got 0 at the end. They gonna see it. It'll be 4 and 6.
Either 159, that's right. This can reduce, they're both even.
4 and 35. 4 and 35.
Since they're both even, you know what can come out. So divide by 2, divide by 2.
On them two, but y'all get 8%.
You got it.
He did the number one.
About what?
That would be easy to take for the one.
2, 2 times what gets you close to 7? So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. But you got 3.
No.
And then what was 2 times 3?
I'm talking about.
Okay, so you 6 up under that 7. 7 minus 6. I'll bring in 0. 2 will go into 10. It's 35.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So that's your final answer. Positive, positive, give you a positive. Okay? Let's finish this one. 7 times 1 plus 1.
Trey, you got 8 or 6.
When we do it like this though, top dog has to go 70 on the outside and 8 on the inside, right? And we can't do it that way, so we've got to take a number out of 8 and 70 like this. So since they're both even, what do you know can come out? Take one out, it's going to be the same thing, it's going to be 8 over 70. What comes out of all even numbers?
A negative, it was a negative, right?
All even numbers, what can come out? 2. 2 is all even numbers. So divide by 2, divide by 2. So where is 8 divided by 2? On top. And then we got to figure out what half of 70 is. That'll be your answer. That's right. Whatever you get for your answer there will be your denominator. Maybe we do like this, top dog goes in the house. So would that look right with 70 on the outside and 8 on the inside? No, so this isn't the way we have to divide. Divided by the biggest, greatest common factor.
Alright, so let's do it.
So since they're both even, what can come out of all even numbers? Divide by 2, divide by 2. Real, it's an even number. It ends in a 0. If it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, 2 will go into it. That's it.
Pretty good.
You probably gotta find out.
Kill more.
Oh, who is ours? You're not in it. You're not in it.
Or just shoot, try.
Right under it.
Make sure you get your sign.
I would do it. This one can reduce, but both even. You can always go back and check to see if
The top number.
Did y'all get 2 and 7 right? Did y'all get 7 right on number 3? Did y'all get 2 and 7 right on number 3?
they're both right so far.
She's trying to count them.
Alright, 8 times 7, 1 times 10, 8 over 7. That's it. We're done.
Okay, I need your help. So I got 3
8
and
times
2.
6. 4 goes to 32. 4 goes to 36. 4 is 31 and
She got more time. 1 4. I got 2 plus 3 is 7. But I didn't call it 3 today.
Okay, now finish. 8 to 4, you gotta do.
3D for 1.
Divide it out. 25
Your
goes.
3 is right. So, look at your 2, I know where you got your 2. You might need, I don't know where you work your paper out. I know, that's why I didn't know that he did one. See, our work on the doing it. Yeah, right.
Straight on them 40, drop it 3 and 3/4.
Okay.
You got that?
Plus 2 times be negative 5/3. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So you got a negative 5/3 and a negative 5/3 So now when you multiply, you multiply on
The number's only 25.
5 times 5.
2 on top and 18.
So 5 times 5 is? 3 times 3
Minus
is?
18.
Now, when the top number is larger, I can go to divide, I put top dog in. Yes. All the time, no. Make sure it's positive, you go, those are positive. Yes. Those are both evens.
No, you're not done.
Alright, we're getting close to being finished, and need to switch classes. What you have not finished in class, finish tonight for homework. We will check it tomorrow when you walk in. Yes. Where does it need to be at? Where does it need to go? In your console.